Hey, what's shaking? All delusions of hope here. Thought I'd give a shot at another YouTube channel. The last two kind of fell face forward. I just had a lot of stuff going on, but I thought I'd try another channel, see if I can maybe actually get this one up and going. Um, I thought for my first video for this channel, I'd bring you my favorite deck from my current obsession, which is Infinity Wars. It's a CCG unlike any other that I've played. I'm having a ton of fun with it, just hanging out. The community is amazing. If you guys want to know more about it, just leave some comments on the channel or um, poke me in game if you happen to be in game. My in game name is Delusions of Hope, just like every other card game I've played or any other game that I come across. So go ahead and the deck that I play, I call it Tomato Soup. Don't ask me. I've always named my decks after random food items. So anyway, we'll go ahead and start my command zone. The first commander I run is Alita Mortal Sorceress. She's a 5 caster. Um, she has Exhaust, pay 4 resources, deal 6 damage to target creature in combat zone. This is just a good all-around utility to burn off any creatures that I may not have removal for. Or if I want to say my removal for bigger stuff and need to snipe off something bigger, or if I don't have any removal in my hand, or if I need some way to burn resources, she's a good one to play. The second commander I run is Candid Head Researcher. She's a 4 caster, and when she comes into play, I draw 2 cards. Um, this is usually one of the first plays of the game, unless I'm lightning blasting and firebolting stuff. She's card advantage, and she's a good blocker to slow down the early game rush, such as Flame Dawn. And normally I would run more in that running her in commander. I don't run any in the deck. I just um, prefer not to, clutter my hand and draw 2 over and can only play 1. So if she gets sniped off, that's fine. It draws a kill spell away from everything else that I run in the deck. So the third commander that I run is Rita Shadow Priestess. She's also a 5 caster. And at the end of every turn Rita is on the battlefield, I create a 2/2 worshiper. She she creates a constant stream of blockers for me, or eventually will create enough attackers that I can start going on the offensive with them after I've cleared the board. So, alright, so looking at the actual deck, I do run 1 Assassinate. I just run it as a 1-of. I don't like the resource cost of it, but it just out and outright kills anything in the command zone, support zone, it doesn't matter. I could run Called Shot, but the game is all about bluffing, and I do like to remove that bluff factor, so but I don't want to run more than 1 of these. I've thought about putting a second one in, but so far one's turning out to be the best choice, because the 2 resource cost on it is pretty high, especially since a lot of my stuff is higher end curve from 5 on. I run 3 Dark Wish. This is the reason I run Triple Purity Verore as opposed to 2 Verore and splashing something, is because of this card. This card is just simply amazing. It gives you so much reach and so many different options. You can create a 16/16 Flying Demon, draw 3 cards, search your deck for any card, deal 10 damage, erase target character from your graveyard to your support zone. There's been a lot of games where I've played Candid, ditched Subjugated Dragon, and brought Subjugated Dragon back from the graveyard. This is good for sniping stuff in the command zone. Searching your deck to find that key spell you need to get that turn 6 mass death. Essentially it gives me 6 mass deaths if I really need them. Just out and alright card advantage to draw 3 cards, or to create a kill condition with the 16/16 demon. I do run 3 Death Rays. There are 3 casters to kill anything in the combat zone. A lot of the time you can predict where they're going to threaten the command zone. It doesn't matter if it's an attack or defense like it does with Called Shot. So yeah, they can move it back to support, but usually, especially against like Flame Dawn, you've really got to slow down the early game of them in order to stand a chance. I do run 2 Demon of Fears. This is a good card. I would run 3, but I don't have a third one right now. The good thing about him is he's a 10/10 flyer, so he's a good kill condition himself, but he also returns X creatures from the attack zone back to the support zone. So it'll buy you a turn, and or if you need to make room to get that last few points of damage in the very late game, you can play him as a surprise to push through. I'm gonna skip over explore for now and come back to it. I do run 3 Firebolts. It's just 2 to deal 4 damage. There's not a lot of early game removal. I could play with word of command, but that really doesn't. I mean, yeah, move stuff from attack to defense, but I'd rather just play the 2 caster and deal 4 damage with something that helps in the early game against Flame Dawn to kill early aspirants or footmen or torchbearers for that matter. I do run 3 Heat Waves. It does do 2 damage to all enemy characters. I use this against Genesis Unending Drones, especially if I'm on priority to kill all of them, so it stops the recursion. Or against aspirants with Flame Dawn, or I'll use it in conjunction with a card I'll talk about later, which is Winds of War. Um, I do run 3 Lightning Blasts. It's a better Firebolt. It's 1 damage, deal 4 damage, or if it's or artificial, deal 4 damage to it. So it's really good against Genesis, and sniping off constructors in the command zone is always nice, or Verore Death Worshippers, or just having that turn one play against early rushers is really nice. I do run 3 Mastas, pretty self-explanatory. Kill all creatures in combat zone. I'm hoping to see this on turn 6 a lot of the time, just to stabilize the board and then start to take control with my bigger kill conditions. I do run 1 Verore, the Lone Keep. I don't play a lot of creatures, so getting moraled out is kind of um, not to worry about. But it only makes it so they can only attack with 1 creature. And a lot of the win conditions I play are flying. Sorry, it's 4 o'clock in the morning here as I'm doing this, so if I yawn, I apologize. But it's good for stopping that beat down. You stabilize at 40 life, and combined especially with Rita the Shadow Priestess, where you've got a constant 1/1 blocker, and a lot of my stuff is flying. So even if they throw other stuff into defense, most of my stuff's flying, so I don't have to worry about it. And this is why I do run 2 Explorers as well, because it lets me search for Verore, and then if I've already got it out, it lets me draw 2 cards, so it's just card advantage on top of the ability to pull out Verore. I don't have a lot of turn 1 plays, so I do run 3 Wealthy Nobles. The 10 morale really hasn't proved to be all that needed, or all that need to worry about, just for the sheer fact that I don't have a lot of creatures dying in the early game, so losing 10 morale is not going to be a big issue. And I've only got one other 1-drop, and that's Lightning Blast, so I like having the options of at least having something to play turn 1. I do run 3 Winds of War. This helps with the early game rush with Flame Dawn. Warpath, I usually do 1-for-1s until I can start stabilizing with my bigger stuff. But against Flame Dawn and some early Genesis beatdown, I will play this. I also do use that in conjunction with Heatwave. If I know something big's coming, I'll Heatwave, and then next turn I'll play Winds of War to clear the board. But all in all, it's just I don't have a lot on the board, so the dealing 5 damage to characters and not being able to move is really not a big deal to me. This is something that has actually been pretty good for me. Is Alita, the Immortal Traveler. It's the neutral version of Alita. The reason I like her is because it lets me put something into the support zone and still pump out stuff every turn. So she's a little harder to kill when she's in the support zone. So, but the ability to choose Unending Drones if I want to get that chain going, or Verore Death Worshippers if I want to get big creatures, or get Invincible Defender if I need a defender right away, or a Flame Dawn Aspirant if I want to, go on the attack right away. So she's very versatile. I'm thinking about bumping her down to 1 just because I've got so much other stuff, but for 2 right now, she really hasn't cluttered my hand, and I can still shuffle her away if need be. Hellkeeper, I do run 3. I don't have a lot of early game, so this actually has served really well. It's proven itself time and time again as an early blocker. And then the 2/6 Flying Demons with cost of 0. or shuffled into my deck, so it's just a free play that I can play on toss. So I play him turn 2, then turn 3. If I happen to pull one, then I can play a 6/6 flyer for free and still death ray something. So, um, and it has on I think 2 occasions saved me from decking myself to where I could beat my opponent. And here's the primary kill condition most of the time. Is Subjugated Dragon. He's an 11 cost for a flying unstoppable. But if he dies in the combat zone, I get 4/6/6 flyers. So he pretty much replaces himself. So he's proven to be pretty good. I've thought about bumping it up to 3, but it really hasn't needed to. 2 seems to be the right number. And the last card I run is Verore Kidnapper. It's a 3 of. I like him because he can target anything, and it removes it from the game. So I have been known to kidnap commanders. I've kidnapped Scars from the command zone or Bromiches before. And if you can guess right, you can kidnap their stuff if they're gonna play their ability because creature abilities go through before. I mean, yeah, it's a little susceptible to removal, but they've got to have the assassinated or the called shot. So, so that's my tomato soup deck for you. Said I'm no pro player by any stretch. I'm just a casual player. I enjoy the game. I've put money into it, but it's just a fun time and an amazing environment. So, hope you guys liked the video. Like I said, if you got any questions or want a friendly duel, find me in game. I'm always hanging out usually. I do work nights, so I do keep really weird ass hours. But if you ever see me on, feel free to hit me up and we'll play a game. And hope to bring some more deck talks to you guys in the futures. All right, so take it easy, guys, and see you on the flip side. Peace.